Hi everyone, this is Lady B, and welcome to the reading for the effects of the Virgo supermoon in February 2019. So I pre-shuffled, and I'm going to be pulling some clarifiers for each pile, but just because it takes me like half an hour to an hour to pull the cards, it's better to do it off screen so that way it's just an easier flow. So for the visual aspect, there's group 1, group 2, group 3. So I'll give you a few moments to focus on the one that you want to pick, and they're all different topics, so you're going to be drawn to whatever it is that you're drawn to. And just a little bit of information for what the stones are. This is Lemurian quartz, garnet, and red quartz. So if you want, you can go ahead and pause the video and just kind of focus to see which one you're drawn to. You can do it numerologically at the timestamps after the video is posted. And I just want to emphasize that these are just guideposts. You can use it as intuitive self-analysis, going within, verifying questions. We can never truly predict the future because it changes from moment to moment. So everything is fluid because of how time happens. What I try to encourage with my channel is to have people tune into their triggers. And if something is true, that's when you start challenging yourself by doing introspectional work and asking the questions. If a reading resonates, then you were meant to hear certain things. I know I listen to a lot of readings and I hear certain things, and it helps me to realign and readjust my path. So again, everything is fluid, nothing is guaranteed. Please use your common sense and always refer to physicians and people of, like if you have a serious health condition, don't do a pick a card to decide if you need to do a treatment, but that's more something that you would decide with your physician and using common sense and educating yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the thing. This is more like for self-analysis and psychological direction, and just to see what spirit says about a certain topic that resonates with you. So with that being said, many blessings and thanks for watching. And we're going to go into group 1. So group 1 is starting at 333. Take these off to the side. Yeah. Okay. Lemurian quartz for group 1. So the message, the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. We have 10 of Wands, the Leader of Wands. This is like the King of Wands, but I also read it intuitively. So this can also be like an accumulation type of a card because there's 4 wands. It could also be like 4 of wands, like coming into a contract or partnership through your leadership. And then we have the 6 of wands, which is victory or being recognized for the work that you are doing. We have Cartouche from the Isis Oracle. And this is, if it will focus, I'll just read it off screen. So for Cartouche, will you focus? Haha, there we go. Choose to release that which would lower your vibration into fear. Come back to love. Stay true to yourself, and you shall inspire others to think or speak more positively when they are around you. Invoking the power of speech and words for your strength, protection, and spiritual growth will work effectively for you. So this is truly coming from, I feel like just with these cards alone, what you're being asked is, how do you align divine love into the workplace or into the work project or into your business or, you know, whatever leadership project that you have? Because in order to lead people, you really have to know how to follow, right? That's the old adage. And you can only lead successfully with loving what you do and delegating authority in a way which fosters respect through love. So that doesn't mean that, you know, it's more of that like paternal love, you know, like the fiery, like igniting passion, like with public speaking, you would, you know, like have that person that just knows how to like light the goal and have people get ignited over that. So that's really what it's talking about. From the Akashic records, we have Archangel Michael. So I'm going to read this intuitively. And again, you kind of see that, hold on, will you focus? Jeez Louise. There we go. So you see that heart coming from the third chakra, which I believe is yellow. Don't quote me on that. I'm just kind of doing this intuitively. So the solar plexus chakra rising into the heart. So it's that passion for what you're doing. And again, it looks like this person is leading and guiding those around them, those who are maybe being like new people coming on board that you're trying to train. This could also be like a family situation where you're trying to raise your children to be good people. So it's any sort of place where you're in a leadership position where you're guiding others towards your vision and towards your goal, passionately and with a sense of divine wisdom and heart. So you're really tapping into the higher elements of leadership. This is from the Mother's Wisdom deck by Nikki DeWart and Elizabeth Margolin. So we have Deer, which is gentleness. And again, it's just kind of like that teaching with gentleness and patience in mind, and really fostering of the elements that you want to encourage in keeping a clear vision. And then from the Aboriginal Dreaming Totems by Mel Brown, 2 cards flew out. So anger and love. Before you can truly love another, you need to open your heart and allow yourself to receive love first. If you open your heart to love, it will flow into your soul. Even though you are bursting inside, you need to remain calm, dig deep, and find the strength to activate the self-control that lies within you. So in situations of leadership, we can, under stress, balance or seesaw between love and anger. And anger usually occurs when we've had enough, or we're too tired, or we're not caring for ourselves, and we're not directing that in that love and clear direction towards ourselves, or that gentleness towards ourselves, or that nurturing towards ourselves. And if you're constantly working and you're, kind of pushing yourself into overdrive, it can be detrimental if you don't stop and rest. The last card that I pulled pre-shuffle was from the tea leaf readings, Stork, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. So this is definitely family connected, or business connected, creative project connected, and you do have the vision. You're definitely working towards that which is divinely inspired, or that which is a collective project. And really your position is one that should remain balanced, in the sense that you have to check in with yourself and not let your passion run away with you, because sometimes when we're either parenting or moving a creative project forward or moving a business forward, we can get stuck in our passionate drives and bulldoze other people over. So again, that kind of goes back to the anger portion. You really don't want to operate in a sense of a frantic energy. Like if you slow down and you take a moment to breathe and you incorporate that gentleness, and you incorporate the aspects of yourself that seek clarity through love or unification, or through the gentle guiding for yourself and for others, you'll get a whole lot farther than if you're trying to rush ahead and just to kind of get things done. I'm going to pull clarifiers from the Tarot de la Nuit. So I'm just going to shuffle on camera just to kind of see what is going to be highlighted for group number 1. So the Wheel. So in a lot of cases, this is kind of like destiny, karma, but the way that I'm reading it intuitively is that the 3 faiths all have an element that they play within creating the destiny of man. So they all have their singular purpose that they unite to create the destiny for mankind and for the individual. So be sure to delegate the things that need to be delegated in order to not burn yourself out, so that way you can nurture yourself and the projects that need to happen for your business. So a lot of times with this card, I'm going to set this down so I can kind of talk So a lot of times in a larger project, what happens is that you need to break it down into smaller tasks, which is exactly what is happening in this card, is that the larger project or the larger view of the creative project, or what have you, that you're bringing birth to, be it a family or business, or writing a book, or working at art, or you know going to school. You kind of have to break it down into the small snippets that you can work a little bit at a time, because if you try to attack everything as a whole, it just becomes a mess, and then you can go back to the side and burn yourself out and become angry and dissatisfied with the situation. So this is again like a really gentle balancing act. I'm gonna pull one more card if there's any advice for group 1. The Empress. So as an advice card, I think this is, just take the time to relax. The Empress is, she knows how to run her kingdom, but she also knows when she needs a timeout. And again, that's just vibing with the whole reading, where you really have to make sure that you're practicing self-care, not only for those who you are responsible for, but also self-care for yourself, in order to make your life flourish. So just remember to breathe and take a moment to find your introspection and your balance, because that is what is going to take you farther. And on the bottom of the deck, we have 7 of Wands. And a lot of times, in these birthing creative endeavors, you do feel like it's you against the world. So you have to put on your battle fatigues in a way, and just go out, and you're like always on a stage performing, right? You're always putting your best foot forward, or you're trying to kind of like manage everything. So there's like this force of reckoning, definitely. But this is like in your private moments, you really have to go in and find that solace and that space for relaxation. So yeah, thank you, group 1. I think that about covers it for that. So I'm going to move on to group 2. And thank you so much for tuning in, and for liking and subscribing, and or disliking. It doesn't really matter. It's how you vibe with it. So yeah, thanks. So for group 2, we have our Garnet. My cat is scratching at the door. Hold on. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. Come on, friend. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. There's like, now my dog wants out. It's the whole thing. Okay, come on. Good girl. Okay, I think we're good. Oh my goodness. I try to like be so stealthy, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. All right. So, thank you. Group 2. So for group 2, woo! Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That's what happens when your animals run amok. Things start flying. Okay. Let's readjust. Okay. So we're starting at 2009 for group 2. Let's flip the garnet. So the message is, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Take this away. Okay. So Zillich Tarot by Christine Zillich. This is a little bit of like a story, and it's definitely the garnet drew the romantic energy, and just really focused it. So when I shuffle, I tend to shuffle on the selenite disc, and I'll put the deck and then the stone on top of it, so it really just purifies the message in that sense. So we have 10 of Cups. We have Princess of Swords. We have 8 of Swords. The Lovers. 8 of Discs. The Hermit. 4 of Wands. 10 of Discs. The Chariot. 3 of Cups. Prince of Discs. Lust. And Ace of Cups. Okay, that is a lot. So let's break it down. I'm gonna bring in the other messages first, and then we'll kind of go through everything. So all of these cards just fell out. I just kind of and they all fell out face up. So I just took them because that was the message. So for the Isis Oracle, I have stay true and be in your power. You are a sovereign divine being with spiritual authority and freedom within. You do not need permission from anyone to be who you are and live your life as you so choose. This is your divine birthright. Guard it as the precious treasure that it is, and remember that you are a divine being free to be you. Yeah, just don't be a butthead. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't give you the free reign just to kind of like go half cocked and be a jerk. I don't know why that came to mind, but that was definitely something that, like, you know, like, yes, you do have the free will of choice, but you should always focus in on, and you should always understand what the boundaries are within a situation, because it's so easy to you know, just use that as an excuse and just kind of like go off and be irresponsible. That's not what we're talking about here, and that's not how you live a responsible, balanced life. So that's talking about really going into your psychology and honoring, you know, honoring your course, but also going into that intuitive compassion towards others, right? You can't really live a selfish life, because that doesn't benefit anyone, and then you're not really doing anything but being selfish. So from the Akashic records, we have the King of Scrolls, and we have Add Some. And this all is all kind of going into the same message. So the King of Scrolls is looking across the story, across all of these things. So we could even say divine masculine, or the person of interest for you, or you yourself, however it resonates. You're looking over the course of these energies. I'm going to move the camera back a little bit. You're looking over the course of these energies, and you're creating your life, and you're refocusing the lens of love, so that way you're living a responsible life. So we have wariness. No one has your best interests at heart. Others have their own agendas. Step up and take control of the situation. It's the very thing that people are not expecting you to do. Amazement. You have worked hard to get everything just the way it is right now. Trust and enjoy this moment. Everything is as it should be. So in our journey from point A to point B, we have things that happen and things that align in such a way that can be a challenge, or can be a benefit. And when we take control of our own emotions, and that's the way to take control of the situation, is to really use that lens of love and to focus your awareness into yourself. And that was the next card, is the owl is awareness. So the awareness for self-responsibility lies within you. You can't foist off the responsibility of self-awareness and the responsibility of your life on others, because then you aren't living a fair and balanced life. In order to come into union with someone, you have to pull your own weight, right? And in order to build a good life, you need to be able to be self-reliant. For the tea leaf readings, we have pleasure with a close friend and chain of events that will affect your life. So I'm gonna leave this up to you, because this, this could be like a friend that that is a good supporting source. It could be a family member. This is a general reading, so it's the interpretations are wide, but this is somebody that you can trust, somebody that is there for you, that is going to laugh with you, that is going to cry with you, is a positive force, or a positive support. And then we have the chain of events that will affect your life. So there is the initiation of events that will bring you from point A to point B. And I want to clarify what add sum is. You can look this up also. Double check always. So add sum is a focus word. It can be something that that brings you into awareness, or allows you to refocus the lens of love, or refocus how you're controlling your emotions, and where you're going. So in the Akashic Tarot guidebook, it says, first, it affirms your own strength and focus in the present. You can use it as a command word whenever you find yourself distracted from what's at hand. Say, add some, I am here and feel yourself attend to the situation or person before you. The word also declares your arrival at your goals and all your wishes coming true. Say, add some I arrive, and take a moment to see yourself reaching your goals. Absolutely. So in the romantic journey, whether you're meeting someone or someone has you in mind and they're wanting to build a life together with you, you're still responsible for how you fit into the scheme. You can't be a passive passenger. You can't be a passenger. The song from the Banshees is like totally playing in my mind right now. You know, The Passenger. Look it up. It's awesome. So going back over what I see in the major story here, I'm going to pull some things here. So we have two major arcana where we have the Chariot and the Lovers. The Chariot is associated with the feminine, motherhood, family, just because of people, well, readers say that, you know, also kind of like success, propelling yourself forward. But this is somebody that sees you not only as a lover, but also as a mother, somebody that can take the reins of the house and, you know, just kind of be a partner with them. And that's confirmed by the Four of Wands, which they feel complete. They feel complete in finding you. They see you as the counterpart. And then there's the love offer that they're willing to make. And then they have plans, you know, there's the passage forward, you know, is to build a mutual wealth. And wealth can, you know, wealth isn't only material goods, but it could be like wealth of spirit, wealth of history with one another. Wealth is so much more than just what's financial. What else? What else? So this is kind of like where the divine masculine is at. That's the vibe there. That's what I'm seeing. That's kind of how it stacks. Let's see. And then for the divine feminine, this is someone who has a tremendous amount of strength, and this is what the divine masculine sees in the divine feminine, or the counterpart. This isn't a gender specific. I'm just kind of saying with what I vibe with. If just address it to your own situation. So the divine masculine sees their divine feminine as somebody divinely guided. You have the 8, but then she also looks very serene. You know, she has her tasks at hand. She's just kind of taking care of what she needs to take care of. And there's also the sense of going within and like being lonely, you know, and almost like away from the celebrations of life, right? Where you have 8 of Swords. So it's almost like she's removing herself on purpose from because she has things to take care of, right? So the divine feminine, so like the divine masculine is witnessing the divine feminine taking care of business and kind of going inward and spending time with herself and almost isolating on purpose because it hurts too much to involve herself in the day to day. Which is fine. Sometimes you need to go inward to process where you're at so that way you could be more effective in life. Then we have 8 of discs. So again, this is taking care of business. It can also be somebody that you know that you do business with, or they work with you, or somebody that you're learning a task from. So they're just kind of like observing you from time to time, and they're witnessing you, and there is like that admiration. But this is the Prince of Discs, and the Prince of Discs is always very slow to move. And then the Princess of Swords is definitely the energy for the divine feminine, where she just, excuse my language, but she just not taking any shit right now. She's just taking care of business, and she's going to do what she's going to do. And that is what is going to make her feel satisfied, is to manage her life effectively. And then that goes back to what the divine masculine is looking for in his divine feminine. He's looking for that partner. He's looking for someone that can take the reins of the house, that can co-manage with him, that can help him also steer the relationship, and be an equal partner. And then you have the Four of Wands completion. Like this is the person for him. He already feels that he wants to make a love offer. And that kind of goes back to almost mimicking this, where he's just taking his sweet time getting there. So definitely it is that chain of events that will affect your life, but you just have to focus on the moment. You have to keep refocusing. You have your angels, and you have your ancestors, and you have your spirit guides. Like, see, he's coming in, but he's taking his sweet time because he's so enamored with her. And the angels are just kind of like, don't worry, honey. Like, he's on his way. You just have to keep focusing on what you're doing, because that's more important than his arrival. Because your self-satisfaction, your satisfaction with your life, your satiety is going to come from doing the things that you need to do for yourself, and to cut through the bullshit, and and just to be your own warrior in a sense, and that's what the divine masculine is finding so attractive about the divine feminine. So I'm going to pull some clarifiers for this reading from the Tarot de la Nuit. Because I just want to kind of see what guides there are, because this is really just a waiting game. This is really just being self-aware and doing what you have to do, because that's more important. Taking care of yourself is more important, and focusing on your life through the lens of love, and living your life with integrity and compassion is more important than what some guy or some girl is going to offer you, because you have to be able to have your own full cup. So again, we have the Queen of Swords, which is, I element of like King and Queen of Swords. So again, it's like it almost feels like the divine feminine is on this journey of balancing her own mental clarity and her own masculine and feminine sides, which is really like that self-awareness and what it's driving to. And it's like, you know, that's the right path, like going within and, you know, really analyzing when the masculine, like the more forward driving parts are better to use in your personality, and when the feminine, more receptive, tender parts are more are going to serve you more. So really, this is a message for the divine feminine, and saying like you're on the right path. You're, you know, you're focusing on your life through the lens of love, and that's what you should be doing. And also, like, this is somebody that is like in a place of forgiveness, and like she's just kind of like holding the hurts of her life with dignity. You know, this is somebody that just says, okay, like, let's do this, let's go. Like, you know, I've been through it all, I've seen it all. Like, now I'm just going to manage the best that I can to the best of my abilities. I'm going to pull a few more clarifiers. Give me a clarifier for the lunar full moon for Virgo for group 2. Anything else that group 2 needs to know? So we have Page of Wands and Nine of Wands. So an offer is going to be made, and it's going to be hot and heavy. Like this is like a very focused offer. This is definitely somebody that knows, like, they finally made up their mind. It's taking them a while to get there, but it's coming. They're coming your way, like, you know, right here. Like, they're almost there. Hello to everyone. Thank you kindly. I am going to refrain from commenting because I'm on a roll, but thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate it. So going back to this before I lose the channel, so this person, the person that is approaching the divine feminine, they're already lining up. Like, they know, they're taking their time. They want to honor the situation, but it's like it's a very focused, passionate direction, and it's going to manifest itself in your life. But really, the main message here is for the divine feminine, and even the divine masculine, is to really just to take care of business and to honor your own life, because the chain of events that will be, they will affect your life. Like, this is like a destiny thing, you know, it's just happening. You just need to breathe and take care of yourself and do the things that you need to do, because when it happens, you'll be very surprised and you won't see it coming. So thank you so much for everyone that is tuning in and watching. I am going to move on to group 3. Whew, that was intense. Like, my heart was beating for for group 2. Like, oh my God, it's around the corner. Oh. Okay, so for group 3, oh my gosh, we have red quartz. And the message for group 3 starting out is, so a few fell out for group 3, and I just took them because it lined up with everything else. So for group 3, you have true healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. How are you triggered? What's going on in your life? You know, what is your happiness that is triggered? What is your sadness? What is your anger? Get to know this. This is going to help you to manage your life better. And the other is, there is a stream of love supporting my dreams. Whether you are that stream, even if you're facing opposition, or whether it's the stream of creator, the divine, supporting your dreams because you are here for a reason, you know, that there is a reason for you being, and there is a reason for you being knitted together out of stars to come to earth to make your dreams come true. You know, that's why we're here. We're here for everyone else and to be of service to others. So there is a stream of love supporting your dreams. The other is, I honor how I want to feel. How is it that you want to create your life? There's a reason for you wanting certain things, or where you're drawn to certain things. You know, if they're, I should say, not sex, drugs, and rock and roll, you know, like if it's a positive something that, like a creative, you know, like a positive, not destructive element, then yeah, like you want to honor how you feel, how you want to feel about something, because that again is like that's the divine right there. So these are all very supportive messages for the same thing. So I pulled cards from the New Era Elements Tarot. We have Truce. We have the Magus. Just move that real quick. We have Circumspection. Mother of Earth. The Universe. And Daughter of Earth. So there's a conversation between an elder and a younger. And they're talking about the world. They're talking about the opportunities that life has to present themselves. And, you know, you have tradition on one hand, you have the pack, you have, you know, being taken care of, and knowing your place. And then you have the magician. You have somebody that wants to create their life. And granted, this is like a very like in your face magician, like over the top materialism. But I feel like with this Daughter of Earth card, it's almost like I want to create my world so that way I can build on the traditions of my ancestors and give back. You know, so something's happening in this conversation where I feel like there's almost like a little bit of a disagreement in the approach for the future of the younger. And we have truce. So the younger is choosing to remain in truce, to give it a rest, but they're making plans. They're making plans. And they're also struggling how to feel about it, you know, because this is something, because of that universe card, something that could take them away. So from the Akashic Records, we have 5 of Roses, 7 of Roses, the Journey, and we have Paths Unknown. So you're really, again, kind of like taking it from being small and being, you know, raised by the community, being raised by the elder, but you know, now you're at a place where you can create your life, and you have a journey that you need to make, and there are paths unknown before you, but you're okay with that. You're equipped. You have what it takes. And there's a little fox in there. You have the cunning. You have what it takes. You're sure of yourself. And there's a squirrel. You've been taught how to save and there's a little raccoon. You know, you're playful. There's a little sparrow. Like, you have a sense of home. You know, you have a sense of ancestors. Like, your upbringing equipped you to take the journey that you need to take, but the elder is having a hard time letting go, because that's, you know, that's normal. It's okay. It's okay to feel that way about family. Because you love them and you want them around. So from the Aboriginal, we have daring. Find your voice and use it nice and loud, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable. If you don't use it now, nothing will change. So you will have to break that truce, and you will have to announce your plans, you know. Confidence, believe in magic. You don't need an explanation for everything. Trust it has happened for all the right reasons. So that journey and the paths unknown, and how you feel about the journey that you need to take, it's happening because you have because it needs to happen. That's why you're here. We have faith, loving, and then letting go is not only one of the most challenging things we can do, it's also the bravest. Take deep breaths and know that this is right. I feel like this is a message for both the elder and the younger. The elder has to have faith in the younger, and the younger has to have faith in their own path. And, you know, the other one, is foolishness. You are worried that by letting go of your frustration, those who are responsible will perceive they have won. Well, they have won because the only one suffering is you. You really have to watch how you present what it is that you want to accomplish, because it's easy to speak emotionally and then you lose the gumption, you know. Like, don't talk about it when you're emotional. And sometimes not saying something is a little bit better, which brings you back to the truce card. You're still finding the daring, and you're still finding the confidence to build the faith in order for you to take the journey. So for the Isis cards, we have Queen of Heaven. The Queen of Heaven, the divine empress of the skies, acknowledges your feminine authority now as a man or a woman. You have a life path of spiritual leadership to bring qualities of mercy, compassion, and wisdom into the world. So, you know, what if you want to do Doctors Without Borders? You know, what if you want to volunteer in Africa somewhere, you know, and or in a war zone, or you have, you know, another path, like you want to go far away to college, maybe to another country. You know, it's kind of like an endless world of opportunities, or even another state or another city. You have a plan for what you want to do that will affect the world in a positive way. So the permission is there because you're born for a reason to be here, and you know, the only thing that you need to do is get all the information and plan well and prepare yourself and not be naive about it. The other card is Spirit of Isis. Beloved initiate, there are times to surrender and let go, but there are never times to give up. Persist with your bold faith. Persist with your bold faith and inspired action until the impossible happens. Isis has the spirit of triumph and will never fail in her quest, no matter how bold or impossible it seems. Let her inspire you. Believe. So, I mean, you don't have to believe in Isis. You know, you have your own belief systems. It's just a archetype, you know, right? So it's calling upon the inner daring and the confidence, right? Like, how are you going to arrange that in order to build the faith in yourself to continue on the path that you see and you feel to be correct? From this card, we also have Cave, receptivity. be receptive to the teachings of your elders. You know, don't be foolish. Again, don't be foolish and just kind of like run and say like, oh, I know, because I know. Like, yeah, you might know, but just take that time to be receptive, because you can't ever be sure that you know 100%. Sometimes saying nothing and thinking about it and meditating on it is way more valuable and a little bit more adult way of going about it than just being arrogant, you know, right? You want, if you want to honor how you want to feel, you have to honor the perspective of others, and sometimes pay tribute to them with silence. And, you know, if you meditate upon what they say and it doesn't resonate, then you can definitely, you know, say, hey, I really have given this some thought and it just doesn't resonate, and this is why. So we have love. So you know, addressing this issue from the standpoint of love is going to be way more beneficial to build your daring and confidence and faith from the point of love than to just kind of be foolish and angry about it. And then we have changes in your life. So this is working towards changes in your life. How are you going to accomplish it? Great happiness. Happiness is different for everyone. You know, how you go about happiness really depends on how far you honor and respect not only yourself but others. You can't be single-minded about the concept of how you fit into life and only look at it from a singular perspective. Like in order to really be successful in planning your hopes and dreams, you have to take a step back and be receptive to the information that you're getting from the people that support you or the people that you're learning from. So it's really important to do that. You also have depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. So again, that kind of goes back to, you know, the like, what if, you know, you're the elder in the situation, or the party that is responsible for you, you know, saying, hey, you're not ready, and, you know, you're feeling like, yes, I am. So, you know, whatever the balance is, like feeling anxious or worried about it, or feeling frustrated, or, you know, feeling like a uncontrollable surge of energy, like, oh, I have to do something right now, isn't going to be of service. You know, that is just going to delay what you need to do. So really, it says to seek out information that will help you. What is it? What are the steps that you need to take to accomplish what you need to accomplish? How are you going to do it? You know, how are you going to do it that's going to provide the confidence and the faith and the daring? You know, how are you going to build the confidence in the elder and in yourself? Do you need a savings account? You know, like what's going on? What are the steps? Please give me a clarifier advice card for group 3. Whoa. Oh. So we have 10 of Swords and the Fool. So you have the overkill again. So it's like that balance between like the overkill of foolishness over here. Like, you know, is it going to be too much all at once? And it's okay to start out a journey not knowing everything about everything, and to have like hope for the future, and, you know, to embrace the world as you go. But you really want to be, again, you want to collect that information. You want to be receptive. You don't just want to like just do it because like you're feeling the urge to. That's crazy. Like you have to prepare. So is there another message that will come through for group 3? Another message for group 3. Sometimes the shuffling is long. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we have Queen of Wands, King of Wands, Seven of Swords, and Eight of Swords. So again, it's like I feel like it's the same thing, you know, like you can definitely, if you plan correctly, then you can step confidently into the next phase, right? But if you don't, you know, you need to take the time to rest and kind of see the situation for what it is, and to understand what it is that you're not seeing. And you know, if you do all of that, then you can, you know, I almost feel like this is like you're going forward with the blessing of elder and ancestors if you plan it right. But don't be arrogant, you know, don't just say because I can, I will. So I feel like that's it for group 3. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and for liking and subscribing or disliking. And thank you again. I hope the messages were helpful. And I wish you blessings, and I hope that you can use this as a tool to help you get to know yourself better and to find greater perspective and introspection in your own life. So thank you so much, and namaste.